Good evening, dear Toastmasters and energetic guests. I am Toastmaster Vikas Agarwal, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting number 247 of Nitk Bihive Toastmasters Club. For the decorum of the meeting, I will request to switch off or put it on silent mode your mobile phone. I allow 5 seconds. As a Toastmaster, we refrain from talking on sex, religion, and politics. To avoid any disturbance, we refrain from cross-talking or leaving and entering the meeting hall when the speaker is giving his speech. Please allow him to end his speech. As everybody has a mission to achieve the goal of success, likewise our club mission is to provide supportive and positive learning which helps them to grow their communication and leadership skills. This helps them with more self-confidence and personal development. As the theme suggests, participation is the key role behind everyone's success. So, involved is the cornerstone for our achievement. In today's meeting, the same success step is followed by our presiding officer. This proves his attendance. I request to extend warm welcome to Toastmaster Santosh Kejriwal.
Good evening, all of you. I open meeting number 247. 247. Our dynamic secretary did share the minutes of last week's meeting a few days back. Hope you've gone through that and it's approved? Yes. Good. Second duty for me is to welcome the guests who have come today. One guest is Mr. Harish Vaswani. Sir, a few lines from your side. Introduction. What made you come here? Who got you here? That I know.
So my name is Survival Technologies. Not into the IT, but I'm into instruments. So we are a partner for instruments for US, for Germany and Germany, from Germany. So these are the two customers which are not or failure from any electrical or mechanical failure, especially in the IT industry. So fresh them the failure will happen on it. So our customers include our manufacturing industry, automobile industry, customer in so that is also is our
Are you a Rotarian, sir? Would you like to be a Rotarian or a Toastmaster? Would you like to be either Rotarian or a Toastmaster or both?
Another 6 months, I have a kick.
Harish, I Either you join us or we join you. Let's all give a very warm welcome. Any more guests we are having today?
We have a new member, sir.
We got Arijit and Oreo. Huh? Oreo is online or here?
Shilpa is there for online.
Yes, so online will be first offline. Yes, Mr. Oreo, Toastmasters Oreo, a brief introduction.
Well, I'm not a guest to this club. Actually, I attending a meeting of Bihive for the last couple of rounders, so it's a very good friend of mine. I started the club, I used to come for the meetings online. It's glad to know how the club has progressed and how the members are so active in participating. It's always good to be part of the stage.
You're from which Toastmasters club?
I'm part of speakers.
Arijit is also the same place.
I'm the same person.
You are Arijit Oreo. What is that? You're confusing me.
So,
What is Oreo? What is?
all beautiful people come that
What do you want me to call you? Huh? That, there's one brand of biscuit that I really love, green biscuit. Okay, now online, Toastmaster Shilpa is there? Yes, Toastmaster Shilpa, brief introduction from your end. Okay. So good, thank you very much. Welcome. Anyone else online, offline? Okay, before I move on, let's now all welcome our two new jewels to this club, Toastmasters Nitk. Please rise and get recognized. And Toastmaster Chandrasekhar from Nitk.
Welcome to the Nitk Speakers Club and this Nitk Toastmasters family. Thank you.
I'm sure both of you will beat all of us as far as speeches are concerned. Right, Anand?
Yes, the
Huh?
competition is high here and you love the way.
That should be a goal.
Yes.
So now let's move on with today's theme. Participation is the key. So what do I have to say about that? When I look back during my college days, school days, I never participated in any of the things, at least on the stage. I did participate in sports, all kinds of sports, but never went onto the stage. The first time that I went onto the stage, can anyone guess when was it? When I took up the president of Rotary Club of Bangalore Junction in 1718. That was the first time that I stepped onto the stage. After that, I never looked back. I participated in all the activities of my Rotary Club, any avenue, any place I was there. Now, participating in Toastmaster Club all the way. So, involving is the key. The more you involve in this, the more you benefit and the more you enjoy, the more you learn. You all agree with me? We should all participate. Winning or losing is secondary. Someday you'll definitely win. Isn't it? Huh? So I encourage each and everyone to participate in the upcoming contest of ISC. Please come over, participate and enjoy yourself. Today's Toastmaster of the Day is one person who believes in involvement. Where all does he get involved? In the kitchen, cooking upma, among the friends, cooking stories, and in Toastmasters, cooking speeches. Let's hear from him for today, what he is going to cook today. Let's all welcome our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for all of us. Let's have a big smile. It's missing. Smile. It is missing. Yes. Now it is good. Yeah. I welcome you all. I am Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, the Toastmaster of the day, and I welcome you all to this. Today is a special event. Why is it a special event? We are preparing ourselves to participate in international speech contest. So how do we do that? We have a full complete day session designed only for delivering the speeches and taking the feedback. Only for that. And for this, the theme is very apt. Now, let me ask you a few questions. What is all Brazil famous for?
Football.
Football. Salsa. Okay, let's say football, dance, football. Can they win World Cup cricket trophy?
No.
Why?
Because
They don't participate. Why do you think Vishwanath Anand was on the top for so many years? He was a good player. Simple answer. Correct? But he participated every time. He has participated in every tournament and he has come. So the participation is the key. The resultant is left because on that particular day, how you are going to perform defines where you will be standing. But the thrill of participating, being in participation, gives immense pleasure and also gives you an opportunity to improve on your working in the things. So, for the benefit of all the viewers, let me just, for all the present members here and people on the online session, let me tell you, today's session is entirely on the delivering of speeches and getting a professional and seasoned Toastmasters feedback so that these feedback, when we incorporate in our next speech, we can participate and probably we can win the championship. And we can excel in our club and go to the area and district and also in the international arena. We can make our name. When we make our name, whose else name do we make? Clubs. So let's make it a point that we bring out the best today and take a best feedback from the experts among all of us. Without much taking the time and giving all the limelight to the speakers and the evaluators, I would like to invite a person who will be giving the speech guidelines for the first speaker. The evaluator is a person who is also a part responsible for the change in our club. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Toastmaster Shalini.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. The target speaker is attempting Level 3 Project 2. The speech title, timer to note, is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story written within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. All the best to the speaker. Over to you, sir. Timer mentioned 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you very much. That was a very crisp presentation about all about the speech, what the speaker is going to speak. Now, let us hear something about the speaker. The speaker, a person different abilities. A person who has a beautiful smile, even a stranger would like to make friendship with that person. When I first met, you know what I heard? I know you. That was the thing. Without me knowing her, the person so much, the confidence, the liveliness, and the vibrance made it. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Prasanna Kumari ji, Toastmaster Prasanna Kumari, who is going to give her L3P2 speech.
Thank you, dear ma'am. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams are not the one which we will see while sleeping. Dreams are the one which will take our sleep away. Dear Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A fine morning, a little girl with 6 to 7 year old came to me. I was really amazed to see her because she was having difficulty in walking and she had bright eyes and she looks very cute and beautiful. The eyes are shiny. My first interaction was with her. She asked me, "Shall I call you madam?" I said, "Okay." Then she said, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "Okay." But my Kannada is broken. Her English is also the same way in those days. So we started interacting. So she held my hand. I said, "Okay." I made her sit, made her comfortable. Then I understood she is into second standard. Then I had a discussion with her. What is your aspiration? Since her blinking eyes, the bright eyes attracted me a lot. Then we were talking about the dreams and goals in life. Then I held her hand already. Then I said, "I'll take care of you." I started mentoring her. I started putting her so many thoughts into her. So because she is having so many qualities in her life, like extracurricular, though she is physically challenged. She is a very good artist. She is a very good singer, dancer. With her disability, she dances well. She won so many competitions in school level as well as in the district level, they call it. And I am very thankful to her mother who put her into an English medium school. So I wanted to help her more excel in her education. So I started putting my effort. I really involved in her life, I should say. She came out with flying colors in 10th standard, irrespective of her challenging life and the atmosphere back home. She had a very bad, atmosphere at home. But I told her to fight. Fight, fight, fight. That is the only word you have in your life. When she came out of the college, I already planned for her PUC in a very esteemed college, very well-known college in Bangalore. Admission wasn't a problem because she came out with the flying colors. When I put her in the college, it was a quiet. I see a big change in her after 2-3 months. She's slowly reduced talking. Slowly, I felt that she is into a depression mode. Every second or third week, I used to meet her. She is in little depression. Then I took her out. I spent a half day with her. Then I understood the college students are bullying her for her disability. Then I went to the principal. I told her these are the problems I'm seeing in her. Principal said, things are happening out of the gate is not in my hand. Though I didn't like the answer, I took it as a challenge to myself. Then I started pressurizing her, not pressurizing, I making her understand, no, you have to fight here. Because you have to complete 2 years PUC in the same college, which will help you in future. I cannot take you out now, though I can, but I don't want to do that. For my surprise, she passed first year, but when the final result came, she flunked in one subject. She was surprised, I was surprised, even the college lecturers were a little surprised. But we can't help it. Then I was discussing this with a close friend of mine, who is a dean in a esteemed college in Bangalore, Triple IT Bangalore. A professor came forward who is staying closer to her house. I'll take care of her. I'll make sure that she will not miss a year. In 3 months' time, she made the exam. She got more than 90% in that subject. Because of her fear, because of all this put together, she flunked. And that professor, I still thank him. He made it happen. Then I decided to take her to a very good college where only girls are there, because I don't want her to bully, because that will affect her future. I put her in a very good college. And there I can see the changes. She flourished like a flower. And in, the first semester itself, she created a name in the college. And the 6th semester when she reached, she is one of the child who got campus selection in an esteemed institution in Bangalore. Not only one, 3. So she has chosen one, which is a German company. She worked there for a year, and then when she got her first salary, she was running to me. I didn't expect that. She just came and hugged me. It was a tight teddy bear hug, and she just followed on me. This was my dream, man. I fulfilled it. I said, it is not only your dream, it was our dream. And today she is working, after 1 year completion, she jumped into another company. Now she is working in a company, Wells Fargo, and she is excelling in her profession. She is getting so many credits in the office. This is her 3rd year of job. I learned one thing. If you have a dream, have the courage to pursue it. You will definitely reach there, wherever you want to. I would like to show the picture of the girl when she graduated. And her artistic work. When I was sitting on a dais for a Rotary meeting, she did it in 1.5 hours. She gifted it to me. Thank you, thank you.
What an emotional and great speech which was delivered. A story, a reality he expressed in such a nice way. Didn't I tell you in the beginning? She is multi-talented and she has got enormous energy. I think the girl fell for her smile and she said, yes, I will live our dream and to excel. Wonderful speech. Let's give her a big round of applause. Should we give time for the evaluator or how is it? No, we can continue. So now, after going about the dreams and bringing out the reality and understanding it, a very emotional feeling, let us now hear the next speaker. To evaluate this, I have an equally competitive, smiling, and a great polished Toastmaster who will be giving the speech guidelines. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Toastmaster Nimisha.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. The speaker in question is presenting his Level 2 Project 3 speech from the Pathway Persuasive Influence. The purpose of this project, first, is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and secondly, for the member to share some aspects of a previous experience as a protege. I wish the speaker all the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivisha, for that introduction. And now, without much, let us all get ready to give a thundering applause to welcome the next speaker. The next speaker, very, very smart, handsome, the most sought after person in the club, in our club. He's got a very creative thing. He brought a change in making the relationship, public relationship, make aware. He brought that kind of a change where the colors would speak. Don't go by his face. He has got a twin brother. We don't know. Let us hear him and beg the judge whether he is speaking or his twin brother. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Toastmaster Bhopaya.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. This may sound cheeky and childish, but this was the first song I learned on my guitar at age 25, as suggested by my music teacher. Believe me, that was the first time in ages that I felt like a child again. It took me back several years, back to the time I first learned this rhyme in nursery class. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends, music has always been my passion since childhood. Despite being a studious student who always excelled in studies, who was always the teacher's pet, who was always the envy of other students and their parents, I I had an urge of a talent that was something different from my artistic talent. And this talent was left unexplored for a really long time during my childhood. My heart would be pounding as a 10-year-old a kid. Nevertheless, I would go on that stage and sing my favorite song, much to the cheers and admiration of all the teachers and students, fellow students. I would go home a happy kid, but ultimately I would retire into my books because I had to study and get the grades that the school had never seen. The moment of happiness that I had was, in fact, momentary. But the memories always lingered in my mind. As I scrolled through Chhatrapati Shivaji's conquests or scrambled through calculus and algebra. As time passed, just like a lamb being separated from its anxious lamb being separated from its mother, I too had this relentless feeling that there was something that is unfulfilled, that there is something uh, that something is not right. I see the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses, Slash, climaxing his guitar to Sweet Child of Mine, and every time I see him playing the guitar, I cry. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to go into that trance where nothing else mattered. But as it transpired, destiny had other plans. So imbibed into my brains about a regular job that I believed having a 9 to 5 is the only way to secure my destiny. And so I toiled. I worked hard. I struggled and ultimately secured a job and started earning. Finally living the dreams that my parents had envisaged for me. Find a job first and then you can do anything you want, they said. I was frustrated. I was restless. For the job did pay well, but it did not make me happy. So the first thing I did when I got my first paycheck was to buy a guitar, and without second thoughts, I enrolled myself for guitar classes. Paul was a very soft spoken teacher. He was very humble and he had a great passion for music. He couldn't sing English songs well because he fumbled with some of the English words, but his fingers worked magic. When he when he held the guitar and strummed it, the guitar would be proud. Such was his aura that he had students ranging across different age groups. Kids as young as 7 years old to adults nearing 40 years old. When you learn guitar for the first time, your first moment of truth occurs when your fingers start to shake. Yes, I did start learning a lot of different chords and music, but as I went through those basic lessons, my fingers, and as I went through the basic lessons and learned basic tunes like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, my fingers also started seeing little stars. Nevertheless, I persevered, for I had to learn my music. Now, this is the point where most eager music learners they quit. Some will say, "I love my nails, I can't trim it." Others will say, "No, it'll be difficult for me to write or type. I'll probably not pursue music right now." But if you realize this is only a minor bump in the beautiful road ahead, Paul ensured that my fingers scraped, while he also ensured that I learn my chords and tunes very well. For if I missed one chord or tune, I'll have to repeat the entire song again. With Paul as a mentor, I was a protege that started loving life again. Every weekend, I used to wait not to meet friends and go pub hopping, but to take my guitar and run my fingers on the strings to fill the room with tune that would take me to a different place, a place of peace, hope, and possibilities. So, what I learned from this experience is that with determination and practice, we can achieve anything that we want in our life. Of course, when we falter and lose direction, that's when we realize that in these moments of despair and hopelessness, a mentor comes as a savior. A mentor is like the light at the end of the tunnel, telling us that do not lose hope in moments of turmoil. A mentor is like a silver lining, telling us that no matter how dark the cloud is, there's always a positive outcome to look forward to, provided we don't lose hope and continue to persevere. The future is in the air. I can feel it everywhere, blowing with the wind of change. So this was a song that sealed the concluding days with Paul. I had to move due to my work commitments while he continued to spread joy and make the world a better place. I may not be a great musician today, but thanks to Paul, I have all the tools necessary to guide me in my journey and to go with the wind of change. If I go all in today, I know that sky is the only limit. Thank you.
I'm very happy that we are having the Toastmaster Bopaya only here, not his twin brother. How did I arrive at this? He started with the music. He's a great singer. He entertains. He loves music. He speaks like music. So that was it. So I think he deserves a one more big round of applause. Moving on, we have a guest, a professional, a Toastmaster, who has completed almost more than 5 years in journey in Toastmasters, who is also a very great friend of our monk. So please put your hands together and welcome Oreo to give the guidelines of the next speaker.
Our next speaker is attempting his level 5 project 3, manage projects successfully, and he will be delivering the second speech. The purpose of the project is for a member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his team. The purpose of the second speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience and learnings while managing the project. The time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Now about the speaker. I find very small to speak about such a big plan. He's a nature enthusiast, He's an engineer by profession. He's a Rotarian by passion and by art. And he's a man of words. He is a taskmaster, if I am not wrong. He gets the task completed. He stands there in the hour of crisis and brings a solution to it. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Toastmaster Anand. Come on, guys. Make some noise.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I really am a big man when I stand on the weighing machine. Even the weighing machine agrees to that. Coming to the speech. I am a civil engineer by education and by profession. And the name civil engineering intrigues me every time I hear it. Why is it called as civil engineering? My professors taught me how to build buildings, roads, bridges, dams. But there was nothing civil about that. And then in our Rotary Club, a time came when the whole board said, okay, we have Anand here. He is a civil engineer. And as we are trying to put together a water treatment plant, we can't have anybody better than him to start the project and take it through to its logical ending. I was intrigued. Why me? What's civil about this? So as usual, I went to Google Amma and asked her, what is civil engineering? What does it mean? Till the 1800s, all engineering were about military engineering, anything to do with the arms and ammunitions. Post 1800s, there were so many other structures like buildings, dams, roads, and other things that came up, which were non-military. So anything that was non-military was civil, and any engineering which was non-military was civil engineering. So armed with the new knowledge, I started putting together a team that is going to put up a civil water treatment plant. So the first man that I took on the team was a civilian man who's a mechanical engineer and a process control expert, Mr. Chandrasekhar. And then we had a civil scientist who is into water treatment, who knows how to build a water purifier, and we knew that he's going to come up with a nice water filter. Absolutely out of the box thinking, a new phenomena that we're going to build. And then I enrolled a scientist who is going to check the outcome of the water that's going to come out and certify that it is as per the IS 10500 standards that the government has set. And of course, I had a team of vendors and technicians who would get their hands and clothes dirty in the process of putting it together. So, lo and behold, I had a team. And then someone had to get the money. Is it Nitk? No one better who can sell this project than me. So I put together a team which will go and get some money out of it. And I had an accountant who used to say, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. I said, boss, what is this money guy? And then there came an auditor who always used to say, no, don't spend this. You don't spend it like this. This is not how you spend it. The whole project looked like it was losing steam. It was process driven rather than intent driven. It was like I am in the car trying to drive it with a whole lot of people putting their legs on the brake and making every effort possible to stall it. That's how it started. I had to come up with ways and means to see that these guys lifted their legs off, and so that I could drive properly and take it to its end. Little did they know that my professors who taught me the ways and means to build things, they are also Michael Schumachers. They could put me into any car with any number of people trying to put their legs on the brakes, but I could still go to the end. That's how it was. We started taking it through. We had the filter in place. We had the wherewithal to put it together. We had the place to do it. We came up with a fantastic end product, which we tested and assured that it was as per the IS norms. We, lo and behold, our project was almost done. Then, of course, as usual, when you do a water treatment plant, it should be for a village. And when you have a village, you have an administrative panel. The administrative panel invariably belongs to the government, and it comes with its own number of people trying to put their brakes on the on the car again, or rather build more road humps and roadblocks. So we had to find our way through it or jump above it, but we did it. When we completed it, when we put it all together, the town of Devnarli, which was starved of water, started getting 6 lakh liters of crystal clear IS 10500 compliant sweet drinking water. Until today, each day the town gets 6 lakh liters of water. So my dear friends, it's not just about putting a team together, it's about taking them through also. At the end of the day, maybe with hindsight and 6x6 vision, I would say that when we start doing our project, it must be intent heavy, but process driven. And at the end of the day, you're going to reach it with all compliance in place and successfully done. Thank you so much.
Didn't I tell you the person, the speaker next is nature enthusiast, a taskmaster, a passionate Rotarian? Because he served for the Devnari town. He built a water treatment plant. Water, which is very, very scarce. So let's give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Anand for his not only delivering a good speech, but with a good intent, he did his project. We rarely find people who complete their project with a strong backing. Moving on further, we have a next speaker, and to give the speech guidelines, I would like to invite Toastmaster Shilpa, who is on the online, to please give the guidelines of the next speaker. Thank you very much. That was very crisp and to the point. Now, about the speaker, before I invite him, he's a person who is also having a nice smile, or I would like to say some of the characteristics of all the speakers till now we have met. A very good person at heart and a very passionate learner. And not only is a very passionate learner, but he also implements that, the learning and the feedback. So to hear about this speech, about his implementing the feedback, please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you, Tia Modi. Good evening, guests and my dear Toastmasters. How many of us here are morning persons? By this, I mean to say, I enjoy the mornings. How many of us here are night persons? I enjoy staying up in the late in the night. I was trying to figure out where should I fit in and how do I fit in. And this is part of one of my travel saga again. I decided let me experiment a little. I got out of bed, got ready at 4 in the morning for a meeting at 11 a.m. in Mysore, which is only 150 kilometers away. I decided let me enjoy the twilight when dawn turns dusk. I prepared myself, I put everything that I needed in a bag, I packed myself with warm clothes. I silently opened the lock, sat on the staircase. When I was tying my shoes, out of nowhere, the door slowly opened. My mom was looking at me. She asked me, Sunil, are you coming home or going out? This is how I used to travel. When I say I'm an avid traveler, I've traveled even for 24 hours, 36 hours at a stretch. So when I started this journey, I was intending to explore the twilight like I mentioned earlier. So I picked slightly off-road and I started my journey. After about an hour or so of riding on a bike, I found that it is almost twilight. One side you see darkness, the other side a little rising sun and the colors that play with your eyes. I stopped my bike, I prepared my brain camera along with a physical camera, and I started taking pictures both internally as well as physically. And when I was enjoying nature, unbeknownst to me, behind me there was a convoy passing through. After what seemed like a minute or so, the convoy commander, in the end, we looked at each other. I waved, he waved, and to my surprise, he stopped. This was country road, convoy. I don't know this person. I was sure I'm not getting into trouble. We exchanged pleasantries. He asked, all the details, basic details, and I asked in turn. We got to know each other a little better. I asked him, tell me, what do you do? He said, I'm a convoy commander. In my convoy, there are 100 units. The convoy works like this. He sat on this street, he started drawing lines. First, he showed one straight line. This is the first unit in the convoy. Next line, there may be 2 or 3 more units. Following line, there will be more units. Like this, my convoy of 100 more or less forms a triangle. And when this convoy moves, it makes its own noise, a thud on the ground. The first unit in the convoy or the leader unit, when it turns left, the entire convoy turns left. The first one turns right, everyone in the convoy turns right. And the first in the unit goes through a puddle, all of them go through the puddle. He said, this is how my convoy works. When I tell my convoy to turn left, the first one turns left, all of them follow. I wanted to learn more. I asked him, please explain a little more. I also asked him, you seem like you're hardly in the late teens or maybe early 20s. How did you gain so much knowledge? He said, generational wisdom gets passed on in our community. My convoy of sheep or herd of sheep. My father was a shepherd, My grandfather was one, my great grandfather was one. And that's how I learned all these tricks and trades of being a shepherd. So, this convoy that I was mentioning is actually a herd of sheep. And he also said a couple of things which always leave me with questions. He said, like you see this herd of sheep always following the first one, human beings also follow the same. They also have something called herd mentality. This statement made an indelible mark in my mind. Every time I observe herd mentality, I recall this shepherd. I only know his face. I don't recall his name. I don't recall where we met, how we met. What I remember is, am I following herd mentality? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So human beings have herd mentality, and rightly proved that we all are having herd mentality. We follow blindly. We blindly start anything and follow. Is it good? Is it bad? Only the results will tell. So, for the benefit for everyone, let me say, let's take that first step. Let's participate. Whether we are heard or not, let's participate. Let's involve ourselves in all these things. To sum up, today's fourth speaker, we do have a very terrific speaker. I'm just reserving the time and the speaker and the evaluator. But before that, I just want to summarize all these things. All the speakers, the two things statements. One is the theme of today's, that is participate, was conveyed. The second thing is the word of the day. They all have involved in that their work. They have involved. Toastmaster Bopaya involved himself. He started participating in that music. He involved himself to learn music and do that. Toastmaster Prasanna involved with the life of the child. Toastmaster Anand involved himself to deliver a beautiful water treatment plant. And Toastmaster Sunil, he involved, whether not curious, he would not have learnt this. So, the crux in all these speeches, or the takeaway, main broad takeaway is just participate. Never worry about it. If you want to get if you want to get some big results, wholeheartedly involve yourself. The way you do it, the results are guaranteed. If you don't believe, wait till the last speaker. He is also going to deliver on the same subject. To give the speech guidelines, I would again invite Toastmaster Oreo for that.
They say the water of a river is never the same. It keeps flowing, right? So today there is a challenge for our next speaker. He's attempting his L2P2 project, which is connect with your audience. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. You all are new people today, and he will be trying to connect with you today because he has been giving his speeches. Everyone is familiar with him, but let's try to make it interesting for him today. Try to behave as you do not know him. So on that note, I will hand it over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Great. Before I call upon the speaker, there is a reason why I summarized those four speakers earlier. The characteristics of all the four persons put together is in this person, the speaker. He's a taskmaster in a different kind. Don't say when he is taskmaster, he is going to have a strict thing. He is a very silently, he will persuade you to accept what he wants, not what you want. That is the character of that. That is the nature of that person. A beautiful singer, nice, he always sings. He brings melody. And for me, I think this is from this person only I learned that Toastmasters can also be made a musical event. So please put your hands together to the Amitabh Bachchan of NITK Bihive Toastmasters Santosh Kejriwal.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
It is yours.
How many of you believe whatever he said is lie? It's a lie. No. Good one. For the benefit of the evaluator, it was either an unfamiliar audience or unfamiliar topic. This is somewhere it's mentioned the purpose of the speech. Either audience or unfamiliar topic. I am ready for both. Well, friends, let me start now. Do you all remember your college days? Really? You and I do. Particularly for one reason. And what is that? The code language. During those days, one code had become very popular. And that was 143. Can anyone decode this for me? Very good. Huh? So whenever we used to pass a girl or meet up with a teacher also, 143 would be a code word amongst our friends. And what is the reply is to get back? 143. Meaning was different. What is that? Correct. Very intelligent crowd. This continued. Now that was for yesteryears. Modern. Today, I have developed a new code that I'm going to share, I'm going to unlock in front of all of you. And I'm sure after my talk, most of you will definitely practice this and implement in your daily life. Shall we begin? Yes. My dear Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests who are coming today, good evening to all of you. To understand the code, you must understand what paper is. What are the properties of paper? We all use paper day in and day out. Even today I've been seeing all the Toastmasters using paper. Right from birth certificate till death certificate, we need paper. No office or no home can do without paper. Am I right? Isn't it? So let us first understand some of the properties of paper. I request Habib to just hand out some of the samples, 5 samples that I brought in today. And I want you, all of you, to just share it with your neighbors. What is the first sheet that you pulled out? Something is written on each paper. Just turn the first sheet.
Sparkle 70.
Next.
Sparkle 75 GSM.
GSM. Okay. Stop now. Stop now. What does GSM means here? Good. That's it. And what does it denote? Grams per second. That's the definition. Okay, the thickness of the paper. Okay. So more the GSM, more the thickness. Right? Okay. Now, second thing, the shade of the paper. Between the first sheet and the third or fourth sheet, do you find a difference in the shade?
Yes.
What is the shade? So there are 101 shades in which paper is manufactured. In white itself, we have got almost about 50 shades. In ivory, we'll have almost about 100 shades of white, this white, that white, and all things. It goes on and on. Each and every mill cannot match other mill's shade. It's different with each mill. Third one, the surface. Did you find the surface smooth or rough between first and the third one, fourth one? Last one. What's the last one? No. So these are surface of the paper. So some of the properties that most of these specialists in paper they look for. These are the 4 or 5 main properties. So after surface, I'll come down to the spots. Check the last paper. Are there spots in that?
Yes.
Black spots or what? Brown spots, black spots. Not too attractive, right? So we finished spots, we have finished surface, sizing, and all those things. Okay. Some of the properties I have just mentioned you, in which paper quality is prescribed about it. Two. Now, when this JK paper was launched in milk packing in early 90s, I and my brother-in-law used to visit all the public sector companies, defense organizations. We used to start at 8 a.m. and come back by 8 p.m. So what was the daily routine? We used to go to an HL, for example, if I take, walk into the security, go to the reception, tell them we want to meet a purchase officer. That's what the lady would do, take on all the details and ask us to take our seat. Now the fun begins. This is an interesting part. After sitting there, I used to tell my brother, Navalji, look at the lady. What's the GSM? Oh, first class, lower is 100 GSM. Okay. I imagine she's quite healthy. Okay. What is shade like? Pale yellow. See how you can describe a human being? The wheatish surface. Acha, good. Huh? It is smooth. Next, packing. What is this packing? Is it tight or loose? So all the things are packed. So many things come in tight packing also. So generally loose only. Generally used to say loose packing. Wrapper, colorful or plain? Plain. Like this we used to have fun talking about the various GSMs and properties, comparing them to the recipients. Now this same thing can be applied to any human being. It can be applied to me also. I want all of you to play, just play a game. Just think I'm the reception. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Very good, very good, very good. Then unofficially off the line, now just tell me, GSM, looking at me. Okay. We can play this game, right? Shade. Huh? Huh? Wrapper, colorful or plain?
Plain.
Okay. Packing. The last one which I forgot to say that time was the spots. Are the spots? Huh? So these are some of the games that we can play with anyone around us, and no one will be able to understand this also. So this is one of the code language that all of us can learn and enjoy whenever you're getting bored. Thank you all so much.
Well, that is something new subject which we learned, and I'm sure it will take some time for us to digest, take it, and put it into practice, enjoy our life. So that is a new subject even for me. I never knew about the qualities of paper. I only knew JK bond paper or on ordinary white paper. I used to buy when I was a student. I used to come to this city market area, and I used to buy single-sided computer sheet and most of my education in engineering is completed with single-sided computer sheet. Nothing more. After my completion of engineering, I never bothered what is the color of paper, what is this and all, until I hear Toastmaster Santosh Kejriwal ji to explain us. So much depth is there. Yes, so let's give a big round of applause to all the speakers and all our learning for the day. So now the next part. The next part is to get feedback on how we perform our speech with the speech guidelines, how we did, what are the opportunities available for us to make improvement. So without much, I would like to invite Toastmaster Shalini to give her speech evaluation of Toastmaster Prasanna Kumari.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Storytelling is the bridge between imagination and reality. I would like to evaluate Toastmaster Prasanna's speech to start with the three areas of commendations using the three S. The first S is the splendid start. You started with the message itself. I would say that is another technique of starting a speech. The power of triad, using three words, three different words or three same words to create that impact. You started with dream, dream, dream. That led to a very soothing beginning of a sweet little protagonist, the little girl. I would say this is a great way to ascend in a story, and that you very well aligned with the project where you used a story in your speech. The second S it stands for succinct visual depiction. The picture painted so beautifully of that little girl who had multi-talented skills. You kept weaving the story very well, and you used inspiration as a tool when you narrated her whole story. Inspiration is a great way to connect with audience. So I would give you full marks on audience engagement. The last is the sprinkling of the apt words and phrases. Flying colors, flourished like a flower. You used rhetorical devices like alliteration, tight teddy bear hug. And finally, you again completed it with a triad which said fight, fight, fight for your dream. A very powerful way to end the image of the little girl. I would say rhetorical devices are a great way to build a story. So on the three S's, you are a star today. But Toastmaster Prasanna, if I were to give you some recommendations since you're emerging to become a very good speaker now, I would talk about the three T's. The first being the transition in the story. The change in the behavior of the personality of the main character was very sudden. Like she was all happy-go-lucky, she was doing very well in school, college, everywhere. Suddenly there was depression in her life. Suddenly things happened which were not moving in her favor. I think that point could have been more polished. You could have shown some behavior pattern. Like she became very silent, she became very remorse, she was all to herself. That could have directed the change. Why that happened to the protagonist? The second thing is the trajectory. When you were talking to one of your friends, both of you were discussing on how to help that girl to come out of that particular moment, the particular situation that she was in, you could have used role play. This in Toastmasters we say as intentional body movements, intentional usage of stage, where your friend could have been in one place, you did move to one side, but then you could have shown the discussion more powerfully. And the last being the transformation. I felt when you had those two beautiful pictures in the beginning, the of the little girl who is now a grown-up girl, and one she painted, she drew you. You could have also ended with a transformation note on you changed her life. How did she bring the change in your life? Like, making you a happier soul. In a nutshell, I would say a very heartwarming speech, loaded with inspiration and thought provoking for each one of us to take back home this great message that we all need to dream big. A little work on smoother transitions, trajectory, and the holistic transformation, if you can show. I am sure Toastmaster Prasanna, you are on your way to becoming an exemplary speaker. All the best to you.
S, 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 T, T, T. What a nice way of putting across. And no, no problem, no problem. We understand. It's okay, can continue. Okay, great. So, what a nice way and what a powerful feedback. Ye- It was all uh, for improvement. Otherwise, she also congratulated her for being the nice and good speaker. To move further, I'm sure you would have made the points and you would implement that. And we would love to see you in international speech contest. Give a big round of applause to the speaker and also to the evaluator. Now I call upon Toastmaster Nimisha Verma to give the speech evaluation of Toastmaster Bhopal.
Thank you once again, sir. Good evening, everyone. The man of the moment, Toastmaster Bopea. Your speech reminded me of a quote by Winston Churchill. A good speech is like a woman's skirt, short enough to create intrigue and long enough to cover the details. And that's how I thought your speech was, because in short bursts of your pursuit of learning the guitar, you showered the audience with details of your personal life and your interest in music. I loved the transitions that you brought between the different phases of your life. You as a student to your work journey, which led up until you became a trained musician. There were wonderful stories in these transitions. Stories are a powerful way to connect with the audience because they are unique. There is nothing like a story that is yours. Nobody else can have that story because it hooks the audience into what you have to say. So that was really wonderfully done, Toastmaster Bopaya. The second thing I thought was you sprinkle those stories with your signature style. You clubbed it with songs. And I thought there was a purpose of doing it. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and the other song. It engaged, I thought it engaged the audience. Good way to, again, build intrigue with the audience. Everyone was connected. I could feel that. So really well done. Certain improvements, if I may recommend, can help you become a better speaker. Firstly, I think your hand gestures. I think you have a tendency of moving it around a little too much. So I found you doing this, this a lot, and this, right? Perhaps you're trying to recall your points. So I can suggest that practice a little bit more so that you avoid doing this gesture a little too much. Why I think you should avoid this is because the audience is already hooked into your story. Moving your hands too much will take their attention to the gesture and they may not listen to the wonderful stories that you have to say. So you can work on that. Second, there was a lot of scope to modulate your voice. I'll give you certain examples. You used, here are two statements. You said somewhere, I wanted to get into a trance. Had you emoted it and said, I wanted to go into a trance. Or somewhere you said, I was frustrated, restless. I was frustrated, restless. Use your voice to add that power so that your emotions come out in the right way. The third and the final aspect, Toastmaster Bopaya, is what was the key message for the audience? You ended the speech by talking about how you embrace music, but what's in it for the audience? Do you want to inspire them to help them take an action? Do you want to inform them so that they want to change a belief? So what's in it for the audience? Try to include that little thing. Think of your speech as a neatly wrapped gift that you will present to the audience in the end. Right? But you're a wonderful speaker, Toastmaster Bopaya. If you work on these areas, I'm very sure you'll become a memorable speaker. All the best.
Didn't I tell you in the first, when I introduced you to the evaluator, a very precision decision making. We call this as a laser cut, not a punching. Laser cutting, that was the thing. And I'm sure a lot of good points, you would have made a note of it. And a big round of applause to both the evaluator and the speaker. Now I invite Toastmaster Orion to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you once again. Toastmaster Anand, who is your favorite singer? Kishore Kumar. I also found strands of Ray Charles, S.P. Balasubramaniam, because when you come on the stage, you have a very groovy presence. Your voice, it actually involves everyone. Kishore Kumar, you are also very playful. So that is a nice impression on the audience that you are trying to create. That yes, let's get on this together. And then you had certain intrigue in your speech. You started with, I did my civil engineering. What is civil about it? So everyone, like people who are not aware of what is civil engineering. I have had a few friends of civil engineering and they left civil engineering. But you pursued that path of civil engineering and you enjoyed it. What you learned, you shared with us. You came up with a particular problem or a project you had been entrusted with. How you achieved that, you explained that really well to us with a lot of humor, with a lot of passion, the kind of knowledge you shared with us, not only about how to get your team together, about the difficulties, the challenges people come across in achieving the project is what you nicely brought into. I especially love the part of the accountant and the auditor because I used to be both. I have been an accountant and I also have been an internal auditor. But on that note, a few areas where you could work upon is like you could come straight to the point instead of making a joke on yourself. Try to get straight to the point. And the other thing is that when you were discussing about the problems, you did not get into the depth of one particular problem. If you would have explained it a little bit of what were the problems, I would have loved it. But one thing I really liked, throughout the speech you were telling about what is civil, and then you told us about the water treatment plant, and I realized all the civilizations came across water bodies. Today, when I heard about your story of how you brought water into Devanahalli, now all the major corporate organizations like SAP, Airbus, they have all started shifting towards Devanahalli. And I know the person who has brought water over there. On that note, over to the team.
Very good. Thank you for the wonderful evaluation. I'm sure Toastmaster Anand would be taking note of all the things, and definitely a new speech from him will be incorporating all the suggestion in which has been given to it. A big round of applause to both the speaker and the evaluator, please. Getting bored, huh? All are getting bored. I'm not able to hear the sound. So let's make some sound and give a big round of applause. Thank you very much. When you clap, you get some heat in the fingers and it will make you be very active. So let's be very active and let us involve ourselves in this today's meeting and enjoy. Yeah, thank you very much. So with that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Shilpa to give our evaluation on the speech of Toastmaster Sunil. Over to you, Toastmaster Shilpa. Timer. Thank you very much. That was a very precise and very educative feedback for the speaker, and I'm sure he will put all his efforts to learn, implement in his next coming speech. A big round of applause to both of them, the speaker and the evaluator. Now, the evaluation of the last speech. And I would like to invite Toastmaster Oya to give his evaluation about the speech.
Thank you, Chandrasekhar. Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, while introducing our speaker, said that he's like Amitabh Bachchan of the club, right?
Wrong.
But he reminded me of Rajesh Khanna. Because there is a song called Kora Kagaz Tha Ye Man Mera, Likh Diya Us Pe Code Tera. So I wondered what was the code. And yes. And we have all gone through this experience in our college days, or even when we are younger in school. We have had all these flirtatious phases where we would try to have codes and all that. But Toastmaster Santosh, he, with his expertise in paper and experience, he told us about how codes can be brought into our lives and how you can make the most of even like our whatever we do in our profession, how it can be explained to people and make it fun. A lot of people keep talking about artificial intelligence, the fears of artificial intelligence, then they end up making female version of Shah Rukh Khan or Amir Khan or Virat Kohli. We so humor is very much needed. That was very nicely done in your speech, Santosh sir. And what I really liked that not only humor was peppered all across your speech, there was a lot of intrigue which was peppered during the speech, especially the part of the GSM, the thickness, the color, the surface. We got to learn a thing about papers today. So that was really nicely done. And all throughout the speech, I was reminded of Avenue Road because that's the place where I go for all my stationery requirements. And then you had that code language with your brother about women and all that. So there is this is a very interesting part of the speech that speaking with an unfamiliar audience. Today, luckily, you have an audience that is mature enough to understand what you want to convey. If you had delivered the speech in front of a Gen Z, they would have shouted objectification, objectification, or degrading a person. I'm not getting into details of it, but one has to be careful when such a speech is delivered because it can be very a razor's edge. So one has to be really careful while delivering a speech. But to your credit, you were aware of what kind of audience you have. So you nicely chose a topic which connected with us and taught us a lot about paper. And today, when I will look at a new sheet of paper, I will also write a code over it. Thank you.
For a musician, the evaluator also became a musician. He also sang a song. Now, how much influential the speaker would be. You know? So let's give a big round of applause to both the speaker and the evaluator. Yeah. So, no, the presiding officer will take that. So, yes, it was a wonderful evening for me. I heard all the best speakers from a different perspective. I had some concentration. I could catch the evaluation also, and how I can also improve myself. I learned to in today's meeting. It was a wonderful thing. The most important thing what I learned today is involve yourself. If I had also become a speaker, I would be sitting and getting tensed what I have to speak and what my evaluation, how I have to improve. But not involving in the speech, but involving in the meeting, I am sure I had grasped more than anyone would have been able to get into it. With this, I am very sure that you all have enjoyed both online and offline, and I hand over the stage back to presiding officer.
What is it? Well, huh?
Are you voting? Okay.
The Bhopal is sharing the book.
Bopaya will share the
I'll give you 5.5 minutes. Yeah? I'm very generous. Very generous. Very generous. Too generous. Okay, Toastmasters. How was your TMOD's performance today? Great? Let's give it. Why was it brilliant? What involved? Yes. Involvement is the key. Participation is the key. So as Bupai is going to share the voting links, let me now first invite our guest, Mr. Harish Vaswani. Let me hear from his feedback on this session. Of course, it was not a structured meeting like every week. This is a special meeting, sir. Only speeches.
Thanks. And 2-3 things how to remove places, make you a presentation. So, mistakes I also guideline of the feedback. I will take Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Let me sort of precaution to you, Harish. When Meghna starts actively participating in our Toastmasters meeting, and when she gets used to evaluation, you won't be surprised when she comes and starts evaluating your work at home. Be cautious of that. Okay, Toastmasters Shilpa, are you on the line? Online? Can I have a feedback from your end in your tonal variety? Uh-huh. Off, offline. Let's connect offline next time. Toastmaster Silver, let me tell you something. Challenge the change. Don't change the challenge. Don't change the challenge. Yes.
Will I come to speak?
No problem. No problem. No problem. Okay. Understand. Thank you so much, Shilpa. Let's give a big round of applause to Shilpa.
Sir, Toastmaster, there online. You can ask her to speak.
Oh, Toastmaster Madhvi. Good evening. Both of you are there, huh? Getting ready to go to Mysore tomorrow. Yeah, right? He is saying yes, you are saying no. What is this? Huh? Okay. How did you find today's meeting, this speech marathon? Hmm? So next time I'd like to see both of you participate and involve yourself. Yes, and no doubt about that. Right, thank you all, both of you. Hmm? Please give us Okay, our one more guest for today. I should not call him a guest. He's more of a friend and a member over here. Toastmaster Oreo. 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 Some feedback from your end.
I enjoyed the meeting. All the speakers were well prepared, and everyone had a very inspiring speech. Also, the latter halves of the speech became very had a lot of humor and intrigue. It's nice to see that even like the newer members are participating quite actively. So that is very heartening to see as a veteran Toastmaster, because all the time we keep asking ourselves who will join after $60 plus GST and your dollar depreciation. But it is nice to see how members are getting involved in the club activities. So I told the word of the day. So that was nicely done. It's always encouraging to see, as a veteran Toastmaster, I like the fact that how people are participating and more newer members are coming. So always a pleasure to be in your presence. Thank you, sir.
Your evaluation of my speech was unexpected lines. Huh? It should have come, it came. Huh? I was aware of that. So good evaluation from my point. Okay, Toastmaster Meghna, you didn't get a chance to speak today. I'm sorry for that. Huh? But in any case, you can speak for about a minute or two about your experiences. And Chandrasekhar, please get ready.
All the speeches are very nice, lots of inspirations we got from PK madam, and then Sunil's speech was amazing. Like till the end, we at the end we came to know that guy was the shepherd, and Sir's speech, yeah, definitely it was again awesome speech. We came to know about the GSM of the paper, how we can uh, make a code for people's personality. So amazing, very nice.
Thank you. Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, your views, sir. Huh? I don't let anyone go without talking.
No, I was very busy in making notes on from all the speeches, because I know, okay, one day I will get a chance to come on stage and speak. So I'm making notes so that I will improve my speech. Yeah. So it was very inspiring. I know how much hard work you people have put, because even to prepare to half the level what the speeches are there, I know how much effort it has to be put for preparing this. Thank you all for inspiring and also continuous encouragement. Thank you,
Are you ready with the results? Huh? Okay, let's hear the results from Toastmaster Bopaya or VP Education. Come.
Thank you, Mr. PO. So today is the best evaluator for today. Any guesses?
Shalini, Nimisha, Arijit,
all of them.
Shilpa.
All right, with With 7 votes, we have Toastmaster Nimisha as the winner. And the best speaker.
PK, Gopaya, Vaster, Anand, and Santosh.
With 6 votes, today's best speaker is Toastmaster Prasanna Kumari.
That's it?
Yeah.
What's the time now? So sorry. We have to close. Anything to say?
Sir, next week's announcement.
You got some announcement? Come. You want to- And adjourn the meeting. Meeting number 247 is adjourned right now. Please be seated. There's an announcement that Sally would like to share.
So next week you will have Toastmaster Suman.